The internet is officially on fire today. And if you thought you had seen it all in the chaotic world of hip-hop drama, you are absolutely not ready for this absolute bombshell. Tasha K has officially broken her silence, and the receipts she just dropped have sent a literal shockwave straight through the entire entertainment industry. We are talking about a leaked audio file involving Papoose and Tesehki that is so incredibly wild, so completely unexpected, and so utterly scandalous that it is currently rewriting everything we thought we knew about industry loyalty. Did the ultimate blueprint of a devoted family man just get completely exposed in 4K? Or is this the most calculated, high-stakes setup in modern pop culture history? The streets are talking, the group chats are vibrating off the hook, and the entire timeline is in a state of absolute, collective meltdown. You need to lean in and hold on tight for this one, because what started as a whisper in the dark has just transformed into a Category 5 viral storm that is threatening to tear down legacies overnight. We have the leaked audio, we have the frantic timeline shifts, and we have Tasha K standing right at the center of the chaos, holding the match while the internet burns down around her. Is this the definitive end of an era? Or are we just scratching the surface of a much deeper, more sinister Hollywood plot? Let us get straight into the messy, unfiltered truth behind the leak that completely broke the internet today. The absolute chaos surrounding this situation requires us to take a massive step back and look at the actual players on this messy chessboard, because the math is simply not matching. For over a decade, Papoose was universally crowned as the undisputed king of marital devotion, a man who literally turned loyalty into his entire brand, while his wife served a massive prison sentence. He was the guy writing love letters, holding down the fort, and giving endless speeches about standing by your partner through thick and thin, which is exactly why this sudden catastrophic pivot into the messy world of Tesehki is making everyone's head spin. Tesehki, who is already a walking lightning rod for viral social media chaos and brutal reality television brawls, is the absolute last person anyone expected to see entering this specific equation. When Tasha K logged onto her platform with that signature, terrifying smirk that usually means a celebrity career is about to be completely dismantled, the collective anxiety of the internet reached an all-time high. She did not just come out with simple blind items or vague hints this time. She explicitly stated that the era of protection was officially over, and that the record she obtained would alter the landscape of hip-hop relationships forever. The sheer irony of the situation is incredibly loud, because we are talking about a man who built a literal fortress around his reputation as the ultimate upright, drama-free partner, only to find himself dragged into the mud by a blogger who specializes in absolute destruction. To fully grasp how insane this current moment is, you have to understand the specific web of controversy that has been building up over the past several months, because this did not just happen in a vacuum. Rumors had already been circulating in the deep corners of the internet that things were deeply fractured behind closed doors, especially following the messy, public fallout with Remy Ma. But while the public was busy analyzing the remnants of that legendary rap marriage, thinking the story ended with a quiet, standard celebrity separation, a completely different plotline was actively developing in the dark. Enter Tesehki, a woman whose entire public persona is built on being raw, unfiltered, and completely unapologetic about her chaotic lifestyle. The contrast between Papoose's overly righteous, highly structured public image and Tesehki's wild, unpredictable energy is so drastic that it feels like a badly written fan fiction script. Yet here we are looking at a situation that is very real and incredibly toxic. Tasha K knew exactly what she was doing when she teased this specific drop, because she understood that exposing a man who considers himself a moral authority figure is the ultimate jackpot for viral entertainment. The entire industry is currently frozen in place, waiting to see how a person bounces back from having their private conversations broadcast to millions of people who are actively looking for a reason to see a public figure fail. The tension grew even heavier when people started realizing that this leak does not just impact the immediate individuals involved, but it creates a massive domino effect that touches everyone who ever stood up for Papoose's character in the past. For years, fans used him as a literal weapon in online debates to shame other artists who could not remain faithful, holding him up as the solitary shining example of what a real, dedicated man in the music industry should look like. Now those exact same fans are deleting their old tweets and trying to figure out how they got so incredibly fooled by a well-crafted public relations illusion that lasted for over 15 years. Tasha K openly mocked this collective delusion during her broadcast, laughing at the idea that anyone in the entertainment business could actually be as perfect and flawless as Papoose claimed to be. She hinted that the materials in her possession are so deeply personal and so completely contradictory to his public speeches that it makes his entire catalog of music look like a massive piece of fictional performance art. The psychological whiplash the audience is experiencing right now is massive because nobody likes to admit they were sold a completely fake story, especially a story that was used to set the standard for relationship goals across an entire generation. What makes this specific scandal completely different from your run-of-the-mill celebrity cheating rumor is the absolute authority with which Tasha K presented her findings, creating an atmosphere where denial seems completely impossible. She practically dared the legal teams to send her another round of cease and desist letters, confidently stating that you cannot sue someone for defamation when the voice coming out of the speakers belongs directly to the person trying to hide the truth. This bold, confrontational stance immediately shifted the public perception from skepticism to absolute belief, because history has shown that when a blogger behaves this aggressively, they are usually holding an entire deck of cards. The internet immediately began shifting its focus away from the old marriage dynamics and poured all its collective energy into dissecting how this specific connection with Tesehki even began in the first place. People are scratching their heads trying to figure out the timeline, wondering if these secret interactions were happening concurrently with his previous relationship commitments, or if this was a wild, rebound situation that completely spiraled out of control. The lack of an immediate, furious denial from the main subject has only added immense fuel to the fire, as silence in the kingdom of social media is almost always interpreted by the public as a loud confession of guilt. As the hours tick by, the digital landscape is becoming increasingly hostile for anyone attempting to defend the legacy of the ultimate family man, because the narrative has completely escaped his control. Tasha K's comment section has turned into a literal digital war zone, with thousands of people demanding the immediate release of the full, unedited files so they can hear every single detail for themselves. The strategic pacing of this exposure is a masterclass in modern media manipulation, because by withholding the full context and dropping only the most damaging segments, a state of perpetual suspense is maintained. This ensures that the story stays at the absolute top of the trending algorithms for days on end, forcing mainstream media outlets to eventually pick up the story and validate it as a major culture shift. It is a brilliant, albeit completely ruthless, way to control the narrative, leaving the targets of the scandal completely defenseless as they watch their hard-earned public image dissolve in real time. The panic behind the scenes must be absolutely astronomical right now, because when you lose the ability to speak for yourself, the internet will happily invent 100 different versions of the story, each one far more scandalous and damaging than the last. This brings us directly to the bizarre, uncomfortable reality of how these two worlds managed to collide in such an explosive manner, leaving the entire hip-hop community looking completely ridiculous. We are talking about a subculture that prides itself on authenticity and street credibility, yet this entire situation proves that the biggest names in the business are living double lives that are completely detached from what they present to their fan base. Tesehki's involvement adds a layer of modern internet volatility that Papoose's traditional, old-school team is clearly not equipped to handle, as they are used to dealing with traditional press releases rather than viral TikTok trends and aggressive Instagram live sessions. The old-school method of staying quiet and letting a storm pass simply does not work when you are dealing with a generation of consumers who demand instant access, constant updates, and absolute transparency. By trying to play the dignified, silent card, the target of this scandal is essentially allowing Tasha K to act as the sole narrator of his life story, and she is currently writing a final chapter that is absolutely devastating to his career. The public is no longer asking if the rumors are true. They have already moved on to discussing the raw details of the leaked material, treating the allegations as absolute, documented fact before any official statement has even been drafted. The fascinating thing about this entire circus is how quickly the public turned on their former hero, proving that celebrity worship is the most volatile and unreliable currency on the planet. The exact same people who were praising his character last week are now the ones creating the most brutal memes, laughing at his expense, and mocking the very concept of the loyalty he preached for so long. It shows that the audience feels a deep sense of personal betrayal when a celebrity archetype is broken, as if the lie was told to them individually rather than broadcast generally to the public. Tasha K is feeding directly into this collective anger, positioning herself as the brave whistleblower who is liberating the masses from the corporate, polished lies of Hollywood elites who think they are above the rules. She is framing this entire audio leak not just as a piece of cheap entertainment, but as a necessary cultural reality check that exposes the deep hypocrisy